If you have a situation where the powers of the variables inside the radical do not match the index on the outside, this means that you have to break apart what you see inside. So I want to break this apart in terms of x to the fourth power because I know the fourth root of x to the fourth, that'll cancel out and give me an x. So I want to break this down into x to the fourths. Now, how many you can do by just dividing these powers? So 24 divided by 4 is 6. So that means that when I write this out here, I'm going to have 6x to the fourth inside here. I'll put this line across the top in a minute once I write all this out. So I have x to the fourth written out 6 times. Because whenever you multiply things with the same base, you're adding the exponents. So if I add 4 plus 4 plus 4 all the way up to here, I'll get x to the 24th power. So I've taken x to the 24th and written it into x to the fourth. I'm going to do the same thing with the y. Now, if I take the 28 divided by 4, I'll get 7, which means I want to write 7 y to the fourth. So let's do that now. 5 of them, we have 6, and we have 7. Okay, so I have 7 y to the fourth. Again, if I add up all these, adding 4 7 times will give me 28. And of course, all this will be underneath the radical. So now I can draw my radical symbol over it. And so it's just one big radical that I have. Now, I could break this up by using the product principle, but I'm not going to do that here. There's no need to show that step. What's going to happen essentially is this 4 will cancel out all the 4s inside. And so I'm just going to end up with 6 x's, and I'm going to end up with 7 y's. There we go. So now we just want to simplify all this and write it as an exponent. So if I have x multiplied together 6 times, that's x to the 6th. If I have y multiplied 7 times, I get y to the 7th power. Now, might be thinking, is there an easier way of doing this? And the answer is yes, there is an easier way. So all we're doing is just taking the inside power divided by the outside one. So if I take 24 divided by the index, 24 divided by 4 gives me x to the 6th. 28 divided by 4 is 7. It's going to be turned into y to the 7, and that would be your answer. But I wanted to show you mathematically what's happening here first. But the shortcut way would be just to divide each of these to get the answer. Now, the next couple of problems that we're going to look at here, they're a little bit different because you have to use a type of division property on that. So the way that this works is if you have x to the n over x to the m, what you can do is turn it into just 1x only, and you just subtract the powers. So that's how we're going to do this to break this down. So inside here, I have x to the 12th divided by x to the 8th. X to the 12th minus, basically I can just do this. X to the 12th divided by x to the 8th means that I can have x to the 12 minus 8 inside. And I'm going to do y 29 minus 13. It's always the top one minus the bottom one, just like that. So I have 29 minus 13. Now let's simplify each of those. I get x to the 4th. And then this one here, if I take 24 minus 13 on that, I'm going to get 16. Y to the 16th. To get the answer, we'll do the same thing we did in the previous problem. All you have to do is divide these. So 4 divided by 4 is just x to the first power, and that's it. And then 16 divided by 4, you'll get y to the 4th, which means the answer is going to be x y to the 4th, and that's how you simplify that. We'll do another one of these where you have to simplify. All right, so when we do that one, again, we're going to first start by subtracting the powers. So I have x to the 12 minus 6, top one minus the bottom one. Then I have y 6 minus 3 for these right here. So I start by doing that. In doing this, so you're going to get x to the 6th power, and y to the 3rd inside. Now, all you have to do is just take this power inside and divide it by the 1 outside. 6 divided by 3 will give you x to the 3rd. I'm sorry, x squared. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we just get x squared y, and that would be the fully simplified answer.